Okay, I'm going to read through this slideshow for you in case you are late or you are absent. So today is the 10th or the 11th. The topics for today is getting ready for the summative. So you're going to be doing the summatives based on designing a fair test. So in the slideshow, we're going to review the big lessons from the scientific method brain pop. If you haven't done that, that was the last lesson. You need to go back and do that now before you get started. We're going to review how to set up your seed germination experiment so it's fair. So it's a fair test. And we're going to practice by doing a plant growing gizmo, which is a virtual lab. And you're going to fill out a form and turn it into Google Classroom. After you fill out that form, you're going to fill out the form, upload it to Google Classroom, and you have to score an 80% on the gizmo before you can actually start the experiment, because I want to make sure you know what you're doing before we set you free with these plants. Okay, so this summative, the big important thing about this summative is inquiring and designing. So the question is, can you ask a question and design a fair scientific test in order to answer it? And a big question is, what if my plants die? Am I going to fail? No, you're being assessed on your ability to ask a question and can you create a fair design. So why should you keep your plants alive? This is a silly question because you're a good person. You don't want to kill any plants. And you're also going to be assessed on your record keeping skills and how you analyze your data, and you want to do a good job, right? Okay, so let's learn from Tim and Moby's mistakes. Well, first of all, let's take a look. What was the independent variable? Okay. Thing that they changed was how often they watered the plants. So it was watering schedule. That was the one thing they changed. Everything about those plants was the same other than their watering schedule. Why was it important that they labeled? They didn't forget which one was which. Say, okay, wait, who did I give water to last? And if you wanted to run an experiment to determine the temperature at which the beans sprout the fastest, the variable would be the one thing, your independent variable would be the temperature. Okay, and that would be the one thing that you change on purpose. What did they measure? Okay, well, Ray really didn't measure much. They kind of drew pictures. Looks like he counted leaves. But if they wanted to have like more scientific test, they could have taken actual measurements, right? Measured the height, measured the mass. They could have done repeat trials. So like have 3 plants that were watered every day, 3 plants that were watered not at all, okay? And taken data more than just at the end. And the answer to this one is all the above. Those are all ways they could have improved their test. All right, so for your experiment, you have to choose how you're going to set it up. But no matter how you set it up, there have to be a few things in common. First of all, you have to have 3 identical setups, okay? Clear container, absorbent material such as a paper towel, no soil, because you need to be able to see the roots, and at least 3 seeds in each container, okay? So here it is, a picture. You're going to have 3 experimental setups. 1, 2, 3. Everything is the same except for that one magical thing you're going to change. You get to choose that one thing you're going to change. So everything is the same except for the independent variable. They all have the same number of seeds. They all have the same amount of water. The same, everything, except for that one thing you're going to change. And in this case, the independent variable that they chose was the amount of salt. So this one has no salt. You've always got to start with nothing. Okay, that is your independent, that's your control. And let's say container B had 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, and container C had 1/2. Okay, these are just examples. And here's one you can do. You can have 1 bean per container, still the same experiment. Or you can do multiple trials in this way, but still same variable. Okay, if you want to do more, you can, but it's a different experiment.